Before we begin, a little self-disclosure. Both Nora and I are INFJs. We know what it feels like to walk into a room and sense everyone's mood before a single word is spoken, to crave deep conversations in a world that celebrates small talk, to give endlessly yet wonder, does anyone really see me? If that sounds like you, you found your people. That's why we made this video, to remind you that being rare doesn't mean being alone. Only about 1 to 2% of people are INFJs, often called the advocates or the counselors, old souls quietly shaping the world from behind the scenes. By the end of this video, you'll understand your core strengths and struggles, how you love, what kinds of careers make you come alive, and why your sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's your superpower. Because when INFJs stop hiding their depth, the world becomes a little softer, wiser, and infinitely more human. 1. The INFJ essence. INFJs see beneath the surface. They listen not just to words, but to the energy behind them. They notice the pause before the smile, the shift in tone that others overlook, the hidden ache in someone's eyes. They read emotion like a second language, instinctive, fluent, and deeply personal. They sense patterns in chaos, threads of meaning weaving through what others call coincidence. They are intuitive feelers, driven by empathy, guided by vision. Their minds imagine possibilities. Their hearts insist must come true. To the INFJ, everything has meaning. Every word, every silence, every connection. It's both their gift and their challenge to see so much, feel so much, and still keep faith in the beauty they sense beneath it all. This rare blend of idealism and insight makes INFJs not just dreamers, but architects of quiet, lasting change. 2. Strengths, the heart and the vision. INFJs carry gifts the world quietly depends on, the kind that rarely make headlines, but change lives in the smallest, most sacred ways. Empathy. INFJs feel others deeply, creating safety in their presence without needing words. People sense they can be real with an INFJ because judgment never enters the room. Insight. INFJs see patterns between emotion, behavior, and purpose. They don't just hear your story, they understand the story beneath it. Conviction. Once their values are clear, INFJs act with unwavering integrity, even when it costs them comfort. Creativity. INFJs turn pain into poetry, chaos into meaning, and hope into something tangible. INFJs don't just see what is, they see what could be. And they quietly, steadily work to make that vision real, not for recognition, but for the healing of hearts they may never meet. 3. Weaknesses, the weight of feeling too much. But for every light the INFJ carries, there is a shadow that travels quietly beside it. Their greatest strengths are also their greatest burdens. INFJs absorb emotions like sponges, the joy, the sorrow, the tension no one else sees. They feel it all, and because they care so deeply, they often forget to refill themselves. They struggle with boundaries, saying yes when every cell in their body whispers, "Please rest." They fear conflict, dislike surface talk, and sometimes shrink their truth to keep the peace. When misunderstood, they withdraw, not out of pride, but out of self-protection. Retreat becomes a way to breathe again. And sometimes they disappear into perfectionism, trying to earn the love they already deserve. It's not weakness, it's the ache of a heart that never learned it could be loved without performing. 4. The inner world of the INFJ. Inside an INFJ's mind lives a constant dialogue, a quiet conversation between compassion and clarity, heart and logic, soul and structure. They notice what others miss, the tremor in a voice, the emotion behind a smile, the unspoken story hiding in someone's silence. And long after the moment has passed, they replay it, trying to understand not just what happened, but why. They live in metaphors and dreams, turning feelings into symbols and patterns, searching for meaning in everything. Often they sense their life purpose early, a quiet pull toward helping, healing, or creating. But they wrestle with the doubt, am I really enough to do it? It's not ego, it's empathy meeting existential curiosity. While others ask, what do I want? The INFJ asks, what am I here for? And that single question shapes every chapter of their story. 5. INFJs in relationships. In love, INFJs love intensely, not in loud ways, but in soul-deep ones. They don't chase attention, they crave connection. They seek depth, not drama, truth, not performance. When they commit, they love with their whole being. They nurture, they listen, they believe in you completely, sometimes more than you believe in yourself. But that same depth can become their ache. INFJs often fall in love with potential, the future they see in someone's eyes, and forget to stay grounded in the present. When love feels uncertain, they overanalyze. They replay conversations, searching for what they might have done wrong. And when their heart feels unsafe, they retreat into silence, not to punish, but to protect. INFJs don't fear solitude, they fear shallow connection. To truly love an INFJ is to hold space for both their tenderness and their solitude, to understand that their quiet is not distance, it's devotion, taking a breath. 6. Romantic compatibility. INFJs connect best with partners who meet depth with steadiness, those who can hold emotion without fear, who bring warmth but also grounding. They're drawn to souls who see life as a journey of growth, partners who honor honesty, empathy, and reflection. For many INFJs, ENFPs and ENTPs feel like home. Their open energy and spontaneity complement the ENFJ's depth and insight. Where one dreams aloud, the other dreams in silence, and together they bring imagination to life. But true compatibility isn't about personality types. It's about emotional maturity and the courage to communicate. The right partner won't be perfect, but they'll be present. The best match for an INFJ is someone who listens to understand, not to reply, someone who recognizes that silence isn't withdrawal, it's reflection. With that kind of love, the INFJs finally exhales because they've found a home where depth feels safe. 7. Friendships and social energy. INFJs don't collect people, they connect with souls. They'd rather share silence with one true friend than laughter with 100 strangers. They are the friends who remember your story, the date that changed you, the dream you're afraid to speak aloud. They'll notice when your smile looks heavy and ask, "Are you really okay?" They listen deeply, sometimes so deeply they forget to share their own heart. They crave reciprocity, relationships where emotional honesty flows both ways, where they can take off the counselor mask and simply be human. When their energy runs low, they retreat, not to reject, but to restore. Solitude for an INFJ isn't distance, it's medicine. It's how they refill the empathy that makes them such loyal, healing friends in the first place. 8. Careers that fit the INFJ soul. INFJs are at their best when their work feels like purpose. They need to wake up knowing what they do makes a difference, that someone somewhere will breathe easier because of it. They thrive in careers that blend meaning with creativity. You'll find them counseling, teaching, writing, healing, designing, leading. They bring empathy to logic, strategy to compassion, and vision to every project they touch. They wither in environments that prize numbers over people or speed over sincerity. Constant competition drains them. Authenticity restores them. INFJs need space to reflect, to dream, to create quietly. They don't chase spotlight. They build systems that make others shine. They are visionaries in disguise, leaders who move gently, artists who heal through words, strategists who see what others can't. And when they follow their intuition, they don't just find success, they create transformation. 9. The shadow side, when INFJs burn out. When INFJs ignore their limits, they don't explode, they fade. Slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. They carry everyone's pain with grace until their own heart starts to whisper, "I can't keep doing this." But instead of resting, they push harder because helping feels safer than receiving. They bottle resentment, then wonder why they feel detached, distant, or numb. The warmth that once fueled their empathy turns into exhaustion that words can't describe. In stress, they often flip into logic mode, analyzing everything, sounding cold even to themselves. It's not who they are, it's the mind trying to protect a heart that's overworked. Their healing begins when they remember. Their purpose isn't to fix everyone else, it's to heal themselves first. From that place, empathy flows again, not as sacrifice, but as strength. And the path to growth. Every INFJ's healing begins the moment they realize you cannot pour light from an empty lantern. Growth for the INFJ is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to overgive. There are 3 truths every INFJ must learn. 1. Boundaries are not walls. They're bridges that protect your energy and teach others how to meet you with respect. 2. Imperfection doesn't make you less spiritual. It makes you real. Your humanity is part of your wisdom. 3. Your intuition is sacred. Trust it more than approval because it already knows where peace lives. When INFJs learn to balance compassion with self-care, they transform from exhausted empaths into luminous guides, grounded, wise, and peaceful. Not by trying harder to love others, but by finally learning how to love themselves. 11. The INFJ's legacy. INFJs rarely leave behind monuments or loud success stories. Their legacies are invisible, woven into the lives they've touched without even realizing it. They are the healers who turned pain into purpose, the writers who gave words to emotions others couldn't name, the teachers who made you believe in yourself again, and the friends who listened without judgment, offering presence where others offered advice. They are the quiet artists who transform chaos into beauty, the mentors who see potential when no one else does. Even when unseen, their energy shifts the emotional climate of a room. People leave their presence feeling calmer, safer, a little more connected to hope. INFJs are living proof that gentle doesn't mean weak and that solitude doesn't mean alone. Their legacy is not measured in recognition, but in hearts restored. If you're an INFJ, know this. Your sensitivity is not a curse, it's your compass. It's what allows you to navigate a world that often forgets how to feel. Your intuition is not fantasy, it's your truth. It's the quiet voice that has been guiding you all along, even when others doubted your vision. And your quiet fire, that steady inner light, is exactly what this noisy, hurried world needs most. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to bring balance, to remind humanity that depth and empathy still matter. I'm Nori, and my AI twin Nora, both INFJs sharing reflections on personality, purpose, and healing. If this video made you feel seen, please like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments what part of being an INFJ are you ready to embrace more fully. Because when you stop apologizing for your depth, you don't just find belonging, you become it.